Hello everyone. Our today's topic is regarding the phrase es lo que hay versus it is what it is, a contrastive analysis. Before we start, I would like to mention that the reason why I'm not using my camera is because it is not working properly, so sorry for that. Our content for this presentation is first, research question, second, journalist question, third, how and when it is used, 4 examples, 5 difference between I and S, 6 comparisons, analysis, and 7 conclusions. The first research question that we found in this is that under which situation can be found the use of the expression it is what it is in English and es lo que hay o es lo que es in Spanish. The second one, which difference can be found in it is what it is in English and es lo que hay o es lo que es in Spanish. Definition of the phrase es lo que hay. There are 2 possible interpretations that we found. The first, expresión que denota por un lado un conformismo casi extremo y que por otra parte sirve como advertencia para señalar que no debe esperarse más en un gran número de situaciones de lo que se observa o de lo que se ha expuesto oralmente. The second, útil para describir y evaluar algo que no satisface pero que irremediablemente debe aceptarse, como puede ser una comida, un plantel de futbolistas, una herramienta de trabajo o un salario. Uses of the phrase es lo que hay. The first use that we found is for acceptance or resign towards a result or situation with a frequency of 7 out of 10. The first example regarding acceptance to a situation is states. Así que la revisión de cumplimiento de estas normas es completamente aleatorio y muchas veces solo miro los fanfics de lo que he sido previamente informada, por lo cual habrá personas con las que tomaré las medidas oportunas y a otras no. Sé que es injusto, pero es lo que hay. The second example is exactly the same as the previous one, so I'm not going to read it. The third example is for indicating resign towards a situation. It states, últimamente mucha gente que hacía conmigo el camino se ha adelantado o retrasado, incluso un par de abandonos. Ha sido una pena, pero es lo que hay. Now, the second use for this phrase is to give response proposal to something or to identify something. The first example for this, in giving a proposal to something, it states, pero lo que verdaderamente erosionó el régimen en Cataluña fue la desafección de los hijos de las familias franquistas que se hacían marxistas tras pasar por colegios religiosos y llegar a la universidad. Esto sí que es lo que hay que estudiar, de dónde provenían esos jóvenes revolucionarios, y uno descubrirá que la mayoría no venían precisamente de los barrios obreros, sino que iban a la universidad y provenían de las familias bien. The second example is exactly the same, under the same use in context as the previous one, so I'm going to read it. And the third example is for identify something. It states, siendo un fichero PCAP pequeño, es muy factible abrirlo a saco, con Wireshark, y ver qué es lo que hay. Además, el reto ya nos dice que lo que buscamos es un correo electrónico, por lo que nos está acotando mucho. Uses of the phrase es lo que es. The first use, it is to reply to a situation or statement with a frequency of 6 out of 10. The first example is to reply on a statement which states, por tanto, esencialmente, Cataluña y Castilla significan lo mismo, tierra de castellanos o habitantes de castillos. Esto es muy fuerte decirlo así, sí, pero es lo que es. The second and the third example is exactly the same as the previous one, to reflect on a statement. And the second use for this phrase is for a aclarative or argumentative function. The first example states, servirnos para ahondar en nuestra propia realidad, pero para convencernos o no de algo, para darnos cuenta o no de algo, para hablar sobre un tema. Eso es una cosa, lo que hacemos con el mensaje de la obra de arte, pero otra es lo que es en sí la obra de arte. The third use is for descriptive or explanatory into a situation. So the first example, it states, ¿por qué? Porque nos falta el talento del autor para ver los detalles que hacen de una nimiedad una obra de arte. Porque eso es lo que es cada una de las viñetas de este libro. Following, we're going to analyze the difference between es lo que hay versus es lo que es. We found 4 key differences. The first, after analyzing data obtained on their corpus, the use of es lo que is presumably used on a higher number of situations to convey different meanings or ideas when compared to es lo que hay. Second, whereas into the expression es lo que hay, based on the corpus data, it communicates acceptance or acceptance with a relation of 7 of 10, compared to the expression es lo que es, which shows a slight lower difference with a relation of 6 of 10, making allusion to reflect regarding something mentioned or done by someone. The third, the use of the expression es lo que es frequently used in speech for making descriptions or giving deeper explanations. On the contrary, es lo que hay tends to have a regret or negative connotation most of the cases. And the last key difference, the fourth, the number of results found on the corpus and the expression es lo que hay is up to 42,000 registers versus 16,000 registers in the expression es lo que es.
Hello everyone and welcome to the second part of this presentation. It is what it is. Let's jump into giving it is what it is a great definition. Based on Cambridge Dictionary, it is what it is a phrase used to say that a situation cannot be changed and must be accepted. And based on dictionary.com, it is similar to deal with it. It is what it is an expression used to characterize a frustrating or challenging situation that a person believes cannot be changed and must be just accepted. In this case, there are different uses of it is what it is. Based on the research we have done in Step Engine, the phrase it is what it is can be found in 2 different contexts or situations. The first one is resignation and the second one is conformism. Let's jump into resignation. When a speaker says it is what it is in the resignation mode, they tend to focus on the bad things, things that they don't like, they don't agree, they don't feel like they are into it, but there are no possible options for them to change the situation or to change some aspects of the situation. So the only thing they have to do in this case is just accept that and let it go. You know, moving on of the situation and hoping the best. In the first example, we can see that 2 speakers are talking about capitalistic stuff and how the rich people get richer and that they don't agree with that situation. And one of them says, however, it is what it is in our capitalistic society. So we cannot do anything to change this, but only just accept that and keep moving on. It's pretty similar to the second exercise, second example, where 2 speakers are talking about a job that one of them has and some negative aspects of that job. The speaker mentioned a guy called Steve Clark and how he drew so many attention, a lot of attention, and the way that that person pissed off that situation. However, he says something like, "I not make this to do either, but it is what it is. So accept that it is. There's nothing I can do to change the situation. Past is past, and just keep moving on." So in this case, they're both in resignation mode, as you can see, only focusing in bad situations, but they cannot be changed, so they keep moving on. Resignation was the most common situation found in a sketch engine, when you look for it is what it is. And it was found in the 82% of responses out of 100 that we can study. The second situation is conformism. In this case, when a speaker uses it is what it is in a conformism mode, it doesn't refer to a bad thing certainly. Like I don't agree with situation. It isn't like that. It talks about some characteristics of the situation that might not be the best for the speaker, but he will keep doing this action or leaving this situation with no interference. Just he doesn't agree with something, some aspects of the situation. Let's review the first example. In this example, they are talking about a show called Saturday Night Fever show and how it is better than every show that is presented in London. One of the speakers says, "Well, literature, it is what it is," and the other speaker responds, "It is what it is." I like this show not because of it is very great literature or something like that. My favorite part is to watch kids dancing. So he doesn't want to focus on how good and great things they had to implement in the church part, but only to watch kids dancing, and that's it. So he will keep watching it. In the second example, there are two speakers talking about a game called Monster Hunter, and they don't agree on the fact that there are so many worms and sub-archetype of worms that can be found in the game. So they said something like, "It's not the best move on Konami's part. Konami is the brand that created Monster Hunter." So they said like, "It's not the best move into Konami's part, but it is what it is." I mean, I like the game and I won't stop playing it just because there are so many worms. So it's a bad connotation, yes, but only in a certain part that I like the game. So I will keep playing it. Conformism was found not as common as resignation, or it is what it is. However, it's still some presence in the language. So it was found that 12% of 100. It can be like higher in a higher number. However, we only focus on 100 results, and we recommend other investigators to have a larger sample. Let's draw some conclusions about all this presentation. So we can say that the best translation of "it is what it is" in Spanish will be "es lo que hay," since they share a lot of characteristics about acceptance, that things that they're referring to that cannot be changed and just deal with it, and that's it. So the best translation will be "es lo que hay." So that in Spanish there are two forms to formulate the perfect situation to use "it is what it is," but still, look, "es lo que hay" is the most preferring one. Es lo que es referred to bad connotations about something with only that, not nothing more about this great aspect or context giving situations, just the negative part and focusing on that. And there are not much differences as of "it is what it is" and "es lo que hay." They are the same technically. Both refers to something that cannot be changed, that maybe the speaker doesn't agree with the situation, but he just need to keep moving and focusing in other things. This is our references. Thank you so much to see this presentation. See you in the next one.